Hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We can already see we had quite a lot of people waiting, which is fantastic. We are very sorry that we've been off the air for so long. Obviously, most of you know the reasons why. And Paul, do you want to just give a little bit of a update on where JT is at the moment?
Yeah, as most of you probably know, that JT's quite poorly. He's got leukemia and he's getting some treatment at the moment. But according to what he's been telling us from the consultants, he's doing really, really well. And I think all your positive vibes are giving him, all the love for the channel and for him has been great. It's keeping him going. So keep up the good work. So hopefully we'll be back sometime soon. So fingers crossed for that. And hopefully we'll see him sometime soon in the next few weeks. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's what we all hope, and we're all behind him, and we know all you are too, which is really appreciated. We do have a short little message from the man himself, and JT says, "My huge thanks for the messages of support and for supporting the channel. I miss everyone." So I'm pretty certain he's watching. So lots of love to you, JT, and leukemia, not very nice, but you're going to kick its arse. We know you are.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And we will do our best to keep this going without it being a catastrophic fuck up, won't we?
Yes, other words are available, like speakers are available, Ian, just in case we're not allowed to swear.
But you know, that one's quite a favourite.
That one's allowed. That's but yeah, it's been it's lovely to be back. It doesn't feel the same without GT, but hopefully he'll be back soon. But it's lovely to have all this support for the channel. I want to reiterate what you said, Ian, and I think it's been a really positive thing. So thank you guys so much for your support and help keeping the subs going and keeping the attention for the channel going as well. So be muchly appreciated, I have to say.
Yeah, definitely. And I know we say it all the time, and we'll say it no doubt a lot more. If you can hit that like button, that's fantastic. Check that you're still subscribed. Make sure the bell is ticked so you're made aware of any shows, because we may go live at any time. Who knows? And share the word and get other people to subscribe too. That would be fantastic. And let's see if we can keep it going on the upwards trajectory that JT set it going a couple of years back, and do him proud, definitely. So what we're going to talk about, Paul?
Well, what we need to talk about first is another sad thing, is the late, great Chris Veach-Bidmead, who passed away, I believe, about 3 weeks ago. And I'm a great fan of Season 18, so God bless him. And I love Logopolis. We were lucky enough in Scotland to have Castrovalva Part 1 at 3:30 rather than 5 to 7 when they showed it. So big fan of his work. Love Frontios as well.
That's Scotland always getting better things than England. It always
except for views in Scotland is normally what they say, but we got it early, which is lovely. Before the Americans as well.
Outrageous. In England, we got it at midnight, and there was a power cut, so we only saw 2 minutes.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, it's grim up north, isn't it? Or down south in my case. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But yeah, it's bad. It's sad news, isn't it? I think Bidmead. I mean, he had that first sort of like I think he was the first accolade, wasn't he, of doing the last story of the season and the first story of the next one. So he was able to segue them really well. But I think he brought real science into it, didn't he? Again, and you know, that was quite refreshing, because I don't think we'd had it much since the days of Kit Pedler, really.
Yeah, that's right.
He was a little bit akin to Kit Pedler in that he really did like his science, but he made it approachable too. I mean, I hated maths, but I was fascinated by it as a result of Logopolis, and I still don't understand all that Logopolitan mathematics bollocks, but it made for a really good story.
But it is. I think Logopolis for me is a great regeneration story, great atmosphere, and it really sends Tom off really well. And I love the fact that he did write both stories, because it leads in beautifully from the Files Project, from Logopolis into Castrovalva, and all that stuff with the ambulance and all that kind of stuff, getting back to the TARDIS is lovely. I love all that kind of. It's sort of similar to 10th Planet and Power of the Daleks, didn't they? Kind of that kind of thing, very similar. Or Plant Spiders and Robot, almost. I love that kind of crossover. It's really nice, you know. But
I mean, in a sense, you could say that it was a 12-parter, because Logopolis ran straight on from Keeper of Traken, didn't it?
That's right, yeah, the Master Trilogy,
So in a sense, you've got what got ripped off in season 3 with Utopia, and then the other two names of which have completely escaped me
The
because
Sound
it's
of
just
Drums
like
and Last of the Time Lords. Yes, yeah,
that's it. Yeah. So
yeah,
that was a master trilogy as well, but again, it was following the style of, wasn't it? Really.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but Bidmead did it first, as did JNT, and
Well, to be
somebody
fair,
else.
I do think that because Letts was involved in this season, I get vibes that they've just ripped off the Time Monster as well. But you know what I mean? But with the
Yeah,
TARDIS, with the TARDIS, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd forgotten about Barry Letts actually. He's yeah, you could tell his influence in the background, although he didn't. He tried not to get a little bit too hands on, didn't he?
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
I agree with John in the chat there. I hated Tom going as well. I remember seeing the bit in the newspaper that he was leaving, like a stop press thing, a couple of weeks before Legopolis aired, and then almost crying like it was losing a relative. It was so upsetting that he was going. It was just
Well,
so moving, you know. But yeah,
in a sense, you were, weren't you? I mean, I don't know, because by the time Peter Davison came along, I was well into my secondary school years and everything. So I grew up more with Pertwee and Tom Baker, and it was you would look sometimes, didn't have loads of friends growing up, and you would see the Doctor as your friend, and I know other people that I've spoken to and friends, and that have in dark times thought, what would the Doctor do? What would the Doctor say? Sometimes use their phrases, and I can think of somebody very much in particular that has said to me that they've done that, and
yeah, yeah.
it. So when somebody like John Pertwee left or Tom Baker left, it was like losing a relative, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It really was. It really was. Oh, let's keep on top of these because we know how much the chat can go, and we've got over 200 already, which is incredible.
Wow,
Thank you,
fantastic.
everybody. JT's going to be so chuffed, honestly. John Keeley, thank you. It's just gone off screen, so I'll script. There we are. Thank you. Good evening, gentlemen, and wishing JT a speedy and healthy recovery. So do we all,
We all
John.
are. Yes, thanks, John. Thanks.
And thank you very much for that. And yeah, Legopolis was very dark and a great finale for Tom, but yeah, nobody wanted him to go. But
No.
do you remember that nationwide interview though?
When he's had a few sherbets, yeah, he's a bit, he's had a few, yeah.
You could tell he just did not want to be there, did he? He was so polite though. He was so polite that he still.
I believe he's just come straight from a press conference, hadn't he? Probably that famous one he said, "Well, I wish whoever the next person is, man or woman," thing. That's probably where it came from, and he had a few
only
drinks
knew
with
what he'd
JT.
started.
Yeah. If only he knew. Naughty Mr. Baker. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't a challenge, was it? It was just a throwaway joke at the end of the day. But yeah, because he had the pinstripe suit on, didn't he? And that was the same as the photo of him in the taxi waving a goodbye and everything. And
that's right. Yeah. It's funny because he had a similar suit in Medics, I remember. It's probably not the same one, but
well, we assume not, but we don't know, do we?
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, budget cuts and all that. Yeah. So I was going to say, Ian, because we've been away for a few weeks, we've missed out on lots of stories and bits on the internet and fan speculation, etc., about what's happening with Doctor Who and various things. So we've got a lot to catch up with, don't you think?
We have, and you've got some now. JT normally does this, and he is so bloody organised in a way that we can only dream of. Really, Digby, £10 super chat. Thank you so much. No shame in shedding a tear for the fourth Doctor leaving. What would the Doctor do is an excellent maxim to live by. Absolutely. It kept me probably out of several lengthy prison sentences. And
one of my favourite bits from Legopolis, apart from the generation, obviously, is that bit in the TARDIS doorway when he sees the Watcher on the bypass by the fence. That is just so iconic moment, and Tom's acting is superb.
And the music,
the
music where it just goes to that ding ding ding. It's honestly that is a superb.
Paddy King's music superb in that as well, absolutely superb. But we're not doing a review about Legopolis. But
I also like the because obviously Tom's there, and it's the soundtrack with the cars in the background. You hear that car hit its horn. You can see somebody has just gone past where there used to always be a police box and seen Tom Baker standing there and probably just thought, my God, what's going on, you know. But right, so I don't want to miss any. So we had Graham, super chat from Graham. Thank you. Only a £5. Anything is gratefully received. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But just a bit of gratitude for giving us this show tonight. Really appreciated. Well, we're really appreciating the fact that you're here, Graham. Thank you for that. And we have Mark Greaves, super chats for a super channel. Oh, you flatterer. Carry on. It works. And crew, Logopolis still has the best regeneration. It really does. It really does. And Digby, another one from Digby. Big hugs to JT. Get well soon. And he'll see that. He'll have seen that.
Yeah.
Absolutely guarantee it. Thank you so much. But you're right. It's not a Logopolis review, is it?
No, that's another show entirely. Well, they keep that for another time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think GT would never forgive us if we did that review without him, so we can't do that one.
He would. It'd be us in hospital, not him. I tell you now. And we don't want that, do we? Right. So you'd shared a few story links, didn't you? Now we don't have the stories to flash up on screen because.
But I do have for the first one. I have a copy of a Bog Fanish CD, and this is my first story. Now, I saw this in Doctor Who magazine that came out this month at the issue 620, I think it is. Good God, and it cost £6.99 apparently, which is scary. I remember it was 12 pence anyway. But but this is a CD from Bog Fanish called "The Age of Sutekh." Now, the reason why I bring this up is because in the article in Doctor Who magazine is a theory from a writer. There's a kind of I can't remember the name of the article, but in the story in the magazine, it has a theory about what's canon and what's not canon. And they have a theory based on this story, which is interesting that Bog Fanish is canon. It seems to be when it suits people. But canon's canon. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. If you want to include it in your universe, you do that if you want to. That's perfectly fine. But this article was interesting because it theorizes that the last two series of Ncuti Gatwa are set in a parallel universe because Sutekh is in this story, and Sutekh is with the Fourth Doctor and Leela, I believe, in this one. And so he wasn't trapped sitting on the TARDIS straight after Primaries of Mars. So that was a parallel universe where all that happened, thank God. And we'll have Peter Capaldi come out the show eventually, as we're all hoping for. But so it's saying that that's a parallel universe, and you can take of that what you will. But that, I think, it's a lovely theory. But you can't really cancel anything, can you? I mean, let's be honest. I remember for a time Paul McGann wasn't canon until he appeared in, I think, Human Nature and that little sketchbook. He became canon after that, or whatever. But you can't cancel it. Although I'd love to cancel Ncuti Gatwa either completely and make it go down a rabbit hole or be just erased, like wiped from the archives would be better, to be honest. But so the story it leads to this is about the idea that Sutekh in this story comes from Tom's era, which is Big Finish, and this is the real canon, and Ncuti is non-canon, which suits me no end. I wonder what our viewers think of that.
Well, good question. I mean, personally, I would take the Big Finish, and I would take the RTD Who, and I would put them both in a canon and fire it. I've got no time for either of them. I think Sutekh was one of those superb one-off villains.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic story. It had a beginning, it had a middle, and it had a really bloody good end. And I do get the feeling sometimes when people try to bring them back, Bog Fanish, I think, with a view to desperately try and stay relevant. RTD, as a desperate attempt to deflect from the fact that he has no original ideas. They bring back these fantastic original characters because part of them, I think, makes them think they can do it better. They think, Hinchcliffe and Holmes and all that kind of, they did this, but we can do it better now because we're in the 21st century. And no, they really can't.
But what they're missing a point, Ian. I agree with you here because he's such a powerful villain. He doesn't require another rematch. That's why he was so powerful The Doctor dealt with him. It's a really difficult character to defeat, but he did it. But you can't keep bringing back gods and purple beings because the Doctor can't win every time, can he? And it makes
No,
it become,
absolutely
it
not.
diminishes the character. And
Mm.
not having him back, there's a reason for him not coming back because he was so powerful, so good, and it was a one-off character, and that's all you needed. That was it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Doctor disposed of him in an ingenious way, really,
Yeah.
And the one of the missing adventures um, was it the Sands of Time, an adventure with Nyssa and Tegan, um, was based around the Sutek and the Osirans story as well, but as a kind of like prequel way, which I can sort of like accept. And the book was a little bit heavy going, but it basically said that I think it said that the Osirans traveled backwards and forwards down these time tunnels, and it aged them as they traveled, but they were so
Yeah.
long lived that it didn't really impact on them very much, which is, when the Doctor did it and he had him going backwards and forwards to use up his life, right at the very end, the Doctor said he lived for about 7,000 years. So the
Mm.
Doctor literally aged Sutek to death. He
Yeah.
didn't age him to the lamp at the top of the TARDIS, because where did he go when it turned into an organ and
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
or a flowered china cabinet? Where was he sitting then? Mind boggles, really.
Exactly, yeah. And the Doctor can't just give him a bowl of pedigree chum or something to chomp on while between adventures, can he? Let's be honest. Other dog food is available, folks. If you have different
But
brands
it
of
was
things.
just a stupid concept, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Sutek, for some reason, it was a time-space vortex. That was already established that it wasn't anyway. And he just held on tight to the TARDIS. No, he didn't. That
yeah,
was absolutely ridiculous. And I think it was just RTD clutching at straws, as per usual, trying to make better somebody else's already fantastic ideas, really.
yeah, yeah.
And Pyramids of Mars was one of those stories that are absolutely flawless and would benefit from nothing being done to it, I think.
Although I believe
But
in the reissue that's on the Shooty version, which is going to be on season 13, unfortunately, is they've removed the hand of Sutek moment, which is really sad. Really.
that's part and parcel of what makes it Doctor Who, though, isn't it? It was just a little fluff, and we love it for it, don't
Yeah,
we? Would you? Oh, never mind. It's such a shame. But the whole, when Gatwa was sat in that ridiculous fake memory TARDIS thing,
yeah,
and he was waxing lyrical about all this, and that she asked him something about all the iconography related to the Egyptians, and he goes cultural appropriation, and it's like, hang on a
yeah,
minute.
yeah, yeah.
No, no, because the Assyrians brought all that and the Egyptians adopted it. So if anything, actually, the people that you're trying to, validate are actually the ones that appropriated it, not the other way around, you prat.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
I
Yeah, and as
digress.
someone said in the chat as well, I think the idea of bringing Sutek back to a new audience is a really stupid idea as well, because
Mm.
if we're not watching it, we're not getting the connection. So what was the point? Really stupid. But we've covered that many times before, But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Now we had a super chat from PTA, Paul Thomas Ashworth. Get well, JT. Speedy recovery. Thank you, PTA. That is really, really, really appreciated. And we have this one from Jason Parker. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Paul and Ian. So for tonight's show, missed you so much. We've missed you too. We
yeah.
really have. We've really missed not. It's felt weird, hasn't it? Really.
It still feels weird. Yeah.
Yeah. You're true. Sending love and hugs to JT. Wishing you a speedy recovery. Missed you so much. Thank you, Jason. And like I said to the others, JT will be seeing that, which is fantastic. But yeah, it's interesting though, isn't it? I mean, Big Finish, or Bog Fanish rather, because I can't use their actual title. Bog Fanish and RTD's Who are almost like they're almost at odds, aren't they? Really, which
Well,
is quite funny.
it's weird. I'm a big fan of Bog Fanish mainly on the whole, but when they have done a character They did Mary Shelley with Paul McGann, which was brilliant, but then they did
Mm,
that with Jodie, but was less brilliant. And I think that's a real shame. Although I quite liked that half Cyberman character in that episode,
mm.
it's much better with the Paul McGann version, because I'm obviously a fan of Paul McGann. That obviously you know that, but the really, yeah,
You?
and
I
yeah, I
don't
am,
think
yeah, yeah.
you've ever mentioned that,
I've never
actually.
mentioned it at all. Yeah, yeah. Did I
No.
tell you I met? No, no, no. We're doing that. Yeah, but something they do and something that works well, and something they do crossovers, which I think can be good, but it's all pretentious fan stuff, isn't it? Fan
Mm.
stuff, which is a shame, because it's much better when it's original. That's the thing. Look at season
Yeah,
13 coming out. I think in October. I think it's coming out. When that comes out, that if you look at all the adversaries in that season, it's all brand new stuff. Great
yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah. That's how you do original Doctor Who, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
But then you've got a fantastic producer, not a showrunner. And I know that was a bugbear of JT's and all of us, really. This
yeah,
showrunner title, very Americanized. We had producers and we had script editors, and in that era, you had one of the all-time best. To actually to live through that era as kids of the appropriate age to really, really, really enjoy it on pretty much every single level, it was an absolute privilege, wasn't it, to be present in that era with Hinchcliffe and Robert Holmes and some of the fantastic writers, and for Tom and Liz Sladen to be there, and then Louise Jameson as well, and all those fantastic stories. It was just an unbelievable time to be a Doctor Who fan,
oh
wasn't it?
yeah, definitely,
Top of
yeah,
their game. They were on the
yeah,
top
yeah.
of their game, really were.
It's a real shame that Mary Whitehouse forced them to leave, but because imagine season 15,
Yeah.
16 under that tenure would have been superb. But
Can you imagine what Mary Whitehouse would have done with the absolute bollocks that's been on the last few years? I mean, she
yeah,
would have
that'd be interesting.
exploded.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We caught fire live on screen, complaining. Who would she have been writing to? And because she was self-appointed, but she wielded influence, didn't she?
She did. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hated her because I was loving what was on TV, and she was saying that people of my age, I mean, Deadly Assassin, I was 10, Deadly
Yeah.
Assassin, and she was saying people of my age would be, well, you were 10 as well, would be traumatized, would be,
Yeah.
not might be. We would be traumatized.
Yeah,
She
and we've
was,
turned out to be quite normal people, haven't we? So yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah. So
there's, yeah, she was just wrong.
she was
Whereas,
wrong. Yeah, yeah,
when you really need a Mary Whitehouse figure, like we could have done with in the last few years,
yeah,
it's just there's just nothing, and they give rise to all sorts of debauchery and, well, it's like the Bog Fanish. It's just all fan wankery, isn't it? Really?
yeah. It is basically. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think there's room for nostalgia a little bit, but I think you have to be very careful of it. I think because if you look back I love the 80s Doctor Who, but when it got really sort of fan orientated, it could be quite difficult for not wees to watch. I loved it all, but you got to tread a fine line when you do that. I think you know what I mean. It's better
yeah.
to be original. But yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. Craig Dunlop. Thank you so much for your super chat. Get well soon, JT. This pair are good. Well, it's very kind of you to say so. But let's face it, they're not you. Well, Paul has a similar hairstyle. I've got to be
I do.
honest.
We got the same barber. I'll give you that. Yeah. So
But they are not you. Absolutely, we are. Nobody could fit the JT shoes. Nobody. I said that last part because I know they're going to have to say it. You swine, Craig Dunlop. You cancer. But thank you for your super chat. That's really, really, really kind. Thank you. So there we are. Sutek, eh?
So going on from that, which may be a tenuous link, but you may have noticed, Ian, over the past few weeks or past few months, even since Doctor Who came to an end, hooray! Thank God. That there's been lots of speculation on what's happening and what's going on. Now,
Oh,
I've just been involved with the Edinburgh Festival, but there's been a TV festival on it in Edinburgh as well, and some BBC execs have been there telling us what's going to happen next, and it all sounds incredibly familiar if you remember 1989, and I'm sure you do, when you were 14,
certainly do.
and
Yeah, certainly do. Yeah.
So if I
Peter
can fire up
Cregeen and
this
all those
article
names
on
of
my
BBC.
laptop here, I'll tell you more about it. So just let me
Okay.
find this article, and it was from the Edinburgh TV Festival. Let me find this now. Where were we? Where were we? There we go. It says Doctor Who going nowhere, which sounds wonderfully familiar to me because
That's actually word for word for 1989, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, if you can remember all the quotes there that we had regarding that, and it's pretty much what they're saying here, to be honest. If I can get my antiquated laptop to work, there we go. Just bear with me. I'm over 50 and I can't work tech. Anyway, so here we go. Anyway, so here we go. It says here, Doctor Who is going nowhere, the BBC chief content officer has claimed. Fans of the Corporation Sci-Fi series, affectionately nicknamed as Whovians, I hate that word, feared the show face an uncertain future due to failing ratings and the departure of the 15th Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa 32, in the finale of the programme's 15th series in May. Since then, the BBC and Disney, which co-funded the last two series of Doctor Who, and they don't let us forget that, has remained tight-lipped about the show's future, but now the broadcaster chief content officer, Kate Phillips, has given an assurance that the BBC is committed to the time travel show. Asked if the BBC would be willing to keep the show going if the streaming service pulled out, Kate Phillips said at the Edinburgh TV Festival, absolutely! Any Whovian out there, rest assured Doctor Who is going nowhere. Disney has been a great partnership, but going forward, with or without Disney, Doctor Who will still be on the BBC. Pressed on when the BBC would make an announcement about Doctor Who, which began in '63 and was cancelled in '89 and then revived in 2005, Phillips answered, soon, don't worry. Later in the session at the Edinburgh TV Festival, Lindsay Salt chips in as well, appeared on the stage and backed up Phillips' comments about the show's future and insisted the BBC was committed to the programme. She said, there's no update at the moment, but honestly, we will share as soon as we have an update. The BBC is committed to the brand for drama. It's the biggest brand for the under 35-year-olds. There we are. So it's very important to us. We are committed. They should be committed. That's all I have to say. So this rhetoric sounds very similar, don't you think, to Peter Cregeen back in '89. Doctor Who will be back. It'll be as good as it was in the '80s and the '90s, etc. Blah blah blah. All the same kind of stuff. You remember all that? Yeah.
I do indeed. Yeah. Who could forget it? That was there, that took part in the letter writing campaign where you actually had to get some paper, use a pen, write down or occasionally type, and then post it with a stamp to the BBC. And you always used to get a reply from the BBC production office, or Doctor Who production office, but you didn't always get replies to these because I think they were being deluged, to be quite honest. Yeah. And they came out because they'd had a bit of a bruising in '86, hadn't they, with the hiatus. And yeah, and it was always in their sights after that because Doctor Who then was an embarrassment to the BBC. And they wanted rid of it, as opposed to now where it actually is an embarrassment, but they want to keep it. And but the words, Cregeen or whatever he called himself, he used those exact words. Doctor Who was going nowhere, and its future was safe, and everybody was reassured. And it didn't come back, apart from McGann's one part. It didn't come back for 16 years.
And the bizarre thing about that is that currently now, I've seen other commentators on YouTube saying various things that Doctor Who is now safe, it'll be okay, it's coming back. That's official. But it doesn't tell you anything at all in this article, really. It doesn't make any firm commitments. It doesn't tell you, it doesn't tell you when it's coming back, what format, who's the next Doctor, blah, blah, blah. There's none of that at all. No. And I do feel that people at the moment are a bit delusional, thinking it is coming back anytime soon. I think that's not going to happen, because they can't afford to, because Disney's gone.
Yeah, it's a little bit like it's a little bit like the Labour Party, in my opinion, because what you get is every 20 years you get a new generation of voters who don't remember the absolute balls up that, I mean, I'm not a Tory by any means, but that made an absolute balls up the last time. Because the last time they were in, they bankrupted the country. And when they were in before, to the end of the 1970s, they bankrupted the country. And they're in again, and they are improving because it hasn't taken them as long to bankrupt the country this time. They've done it in about 14 months. But the people that you get, they never remember the catastrophe that went before, and they'll be voted out again, and then 20 years on they'll get in again because people voting then won't remember what's going on now.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit like this because the people that are convinced that you can believe a word the BBC say are holding on to everything. I mean, bear in mind, these are the same people that were saying the Doctor Who Christmas special is being filmed at the minute. It has been done. It is going ahead. It will be there. Well, it should have been filmed. It should have been through post-production, and we should be seeing some trailers soon, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
But we're not going to, are we? Because you can't film television programs from a studio that's in total darkness and it's had all the sets taken down.
Yeah.
You can't do that at all. But it's the same delusional people, and it's sad, because a lot of them do lack a certain amount of mental resilience. They would never have coped in 1989, and we'd been there before, obviously. But this is all lies. If they do bring Doctor Who back, they will be absolutely desperately scraping the barrel, because at the moment it's dead and it has no fondness in the public psyche that original Doctor Who had. Yeah, it went through its being looked at as a jokey phase. Even when I was at school, you got mercilessly ribbed for the Merca, for example. My God. But that rapidly, when it was no longer there, it rapidly changed into people being very, very, very fond of the memory of Doctor Who, and that fueled ultimately it coming back in 2005. But it doesn't have that anymore now. That fan base was truly told where to go in no uncertain terms and was ridiculed even before Whittaker, really, because they were leaning towards that in the way that they treated Capaldi and the scripts that he got. And as soon as Whittaker was announced, she started going on at the males, didn't she? She's making it all about gender. And it doesn't have that goodwill. So they could bring it back with great fanfare in a couple of years, but fanfare to who? Who will care? Because they'll just remember how it was, and how it was really, really crap. But we've missed 3 seasons, haven't we? Go on, you keep going. I'll dig these out.
Yeah, I was just going to say that the current cope, as we're calling it, is that people are saying that this is different from 89. I don't see how it is different at all, because whether the BBC still want to keep it going is one thing, I suppose, but it's, as we said earlier, it's gone so downhill in the public's eyes as well. No one's watching it. No one still knows it's on. If you're not we or general public, you don't know it's on, or probably don't know who the Doctor is. And no one knows it's Billy Piper now, if that's who it is. But you know what I mean. So nobody cares if it's Billy Piper. Neither I don't care.
Well,
if it's Billy
nobody.
Piper.
No, nobody does care, and people are surprised that it's still on, and that shows you how many people are actually watching it in reality.
Yeah,
they're just not, are they? I'll try and catch up with these super chats. So first off, Marjorie. I am never 100% sure how to say Marjorie's surname, so I'm going to have a stab at it and probably cock it up. So I'm going to say Marjorie Dewdon. I can just see the tumbleweed there. But anyway, Marjorie, thank you for your super chat. Sending love and hugs to JT. Proud of you, Ian and Paul. Bless. Thank you for keeping the show going. You guys are class, true class. Thank you. And then we had Marie. Wow. Thank you, Marie. That is so kind of you. Hey, guys, missed you loads. We've missed you too. We really have. Best wishes to JT. I won't be returning to Doctor Who on TV until I hear a promise from the BBC that RTD, David Tennant, Ncuti Gatwa, and Jodie Whittaker.
Watika's much better. Wattika, I prefer Wattika, yeah.
I've used Shittika for so long. It's a habit to get it right at all. A banished from Doctor Who for all eternity. Whose views for me? I do like that hashtag. Well, we might use that. Thank you, Marie. And Mark Greaves, thank you again. It proves how amazing this fan base is, that we've never met JT or you guys, but we're all here for him and you. And that means so much. It really does. Doctor Who is safe and the parrot is just resting. And real geriatric. I feel like a real geriatric sometimes. Do you, Paul?
Well, I am. So they.
Actually, a few days older than you, mate. And
Yeah.
it's you know, WD-40 on the joints every morning just to get your legs working. Best wishes to JT. Love this channel. Thank you, Real Geriatric. Really appreciate that too. This is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Having everybody back again. It's like we've got the band back together with all the viewers and everything. It's absolutely wonderful. You sent me that link. I pulled that story up as well. But you're right. It is literally word for word what was said in 1989, and it was bollocks then, and it's bollocks now. Really, the only reason they want to bring it back is the commercial side of it, I think. And what they're failing to realize even now is that the commercial side is the classic era, and it's predominantly people of our demographic that are still buying the classic stuff.
It's people with disposable income, and they miss that completely. You know, it's daft, really. But
you know, and I think again, if they do bring it back, they will aim it at the wrong demographic again, and probably the wrong gender grouping too. You know, really, because it's what they see as the be all and end all. I haven't seen anything more about this cartoon for
nothing at all.
or something. So I presume they're still going to go down that.
Well, we talked this before. They got a Bluey crossover coming, Doctor meets Bluey, just to make it popular. Or Bluey will be his companion, like K9, but Bluey will be the companion.
Do you remember when Bluey used to be the terminology used for a pornographic film?
No, I don't. No. No.
I think you're fibbing, sir.
Possibly,
I think you're fibbing. Yeah.
And my middle name's Pinocchio. We'll leave it at that.
You've got a Bluey. You are, sorry?
My middle name's Pinocchio, and we'll leave it at that.
But you're right. There probably will be a crossover at some point if they go down that route of cartoons. I just dread to think. I genuinely dread to think what it'll be like. I really do. God.
Well, who's it aimed at? You know, it's like they're looking for under 35s in this one. That's the best demographic they have, and that's working very well for them with about 1 million viewers. So how you calculate that, you know? But
I mean, it's just embarrassing, isn't it? It really is embarrassing, and it's so sad. And I know we feel very wedded to it because we've been with it for so long. But ultimately, we know it's not just for us. But we've always been quite welcoming of new viewers, and we've talked about it for decades. We kept it going in that 16 years that it wasn't on the air, and McGann was a godsend because it just gave an injection of new material, didn't it? And everything, and new stuff to talk to, and another doctor. But we kept it going at the end of the day. And we wouldn't have done that if we weren't wanting to encourage more people to get into it. So, but which is why it's so sad that this current era have been coming out and blatantly saying it's not made for you, and that's fine. Well, we've stopped watching it anyway. But you know, from having conversations with our good friend Michael, you know, we agreed that really stop trying to appropriate classic Doctor Who, RTD and all the others. Stop trying to appropriate it. Stop trying to touch it. Leave classic Doctor Who alone, because you know what, RTD and all your fans, classic Doctor Who wasn't made for you. Simple as that. It was made for people that enjoyed it properly for what it was.
The bizarre thing is, though, if you look back at our era of watching Doctor Who, like say Pertwee Baker, when it was hugely popular, likewise when it was popular with Tennant, sort of season 3 and 4, when that was popular in both cases, it was aimed at a family audience, aimed at everybody. You know, no one was excluded at all. So the bizarre business plan is exclude your audience and make it for minority. That is just really daft business sense. But we've said that before, haven't we? So, it's so
isn't
it? So
you just got to if you just sort of like step back and look at it and think, why on earth would you do that? In what world does it make commercial sense? But they did it anyway, which I'll never understand. I never
I mean,
will.
part of the reason why I'm still stuck with it are partly to do with the channel reviews, but it's also I feel like it's like when you go past an actor and you can't keep looking, you want to keep looking back, rubbernecking almost, you know what I mean? And you feel you're missing something a little bit. And I've been stung so many times with the last two series.
Yeah.
It's really made me so wary now if it does ever come back that it's going to be like, oh my God, what have they done to it now? And it won't be any better. Like people are saying in the chat, you know, if they have the same management, if RTD's still doing it and they've still got Bad Wolf doing it or whoever, then it's going to be the same as what we had before, but just with a different
Mm.
actor playing the Doctor. You know what I mean? So,
Well, I'm when they brought it back in 2005, they announced it in 2003, and we initially couldn't believe it at all, could we? But what happened in that 18, 19, 20-month period between announcing it and it actually hitting the screens in the March was pretty much everybody that had been a fan of the classic series that was still there was making such a song and dance about this coming back. I think the fact
yeah.
that they got 10 million viewers, they wouldn't have got that if it had just been left to the BBC alone,
Oh, yeah.
because they've never known how to market this program. It was down, again, in part, a large part, to people like us who were making a huge song and dance about it and getting people who'd never considered watching Doctor Who before to watch it, and they tuned in. And like you say, it was very family orientated, and generally people really, really enjoyed it, and they got the audiences accordingly. But if they brought it back now, who are they going to get to do that? Because I don't trust the BBC anymore. I absolutely despise the BBC and everything they stand for, not just because of Doctor Who, but because of the way that they portray British history.
But
You know,
even
that,
with people who've been brought up with it, like Kirsty and Emilio, who are in the same position as we were, but with New Who, you know, they've
yeah,
grown up with New Who,
yeah,
and even they feel a bit they've jaded by what's been the past sort of 5, 6 years, whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's kind of like that's quite sad that someone of their age has lost that so early on, because we've had such a good run for the majority of the time up until probably Capaldi left. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Before I was going a little bit in the Capaldi era a little bit, I know, but generally we had a lot of luck with some good quality stories and scripts. But they've had, okay, they've had 20 years, but it's not 20 seasons, is it? You know, and
No.
they don't have that audience. What I'm trying to say is they don't have that audience anymore to rely on from new fans, because they've gone as well. You know, so
Yeah, completely. And I can't imagine people like Kirsty and Emilio, you know, that that age group, that demographic, that I will also tag in mentally sane as opposed to the other lot. I can't see they're going to
I
want
can't vouch for Kirsty in
to.
that one. I'm sorry, but sorry, Kirsty,
Oh,
don't
you're so
resist it.
dead.
Sorry, yeah,
You're so
sorry,
dead.
I'm in
But
trouble now. So yeah, so
I just can't imagine people like that trusting the BBC enough to want to get behind and help them publicise anything related to Doctor Who anymore, because you just won't trust. Because
yeah,
this is the same brand. They did come out and say this is not for you. So why would we? Why would they?
yeah.
You know, you just don't want to. There's nothing in it, is there? There's no reward to be had. But like I say, I mean, I despise the BBC. They've got that historical program on at the minute, haven't they? About 1066, and some of the knights and royal family people and everything are played by black actors. And I've got nothing against black actors, but not in programs like this because there weren't any. You know, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But it's just an extension of what they were doing in Doctor Who with Isaac Newton. You know, he wasn't a mixed race chap at all, but here he is. And but they like to do that, don't they? It's
Yeah.
very similar to that campaign at the moment on the London Underground about people playing music too loud. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have. Yeah, and encouraging people to wear
Absolutely,
headphones. Yeah, yeah, I've seen that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And absolutely every person that's in these posters demonstrating how inconsiderate it is, absolutely every single person is white. And it's unbelievable because it's the only time I think in the last 20 years that anything in London has probably had any white people in it at all. But of course, it's a negative angle, isn't it? So
yeah,
of course
yeah.
they are. They can't help it, can they? Really, all our
Well, they're
historical
not
figures
allowed to
were actually.
criticize other races, are they? That's the thing. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
never mind. And I'll do a quick catch up again. We had another super chat from PTA, Paul Thomas Ashworth. Thank you again. The back catalogue is up for grabs. HBO Max gone.
Yeah, apparently
Forgot,
they've removed all the New Who stuff they had access to. Apparently, yeah. So
right, okay.
so
I
there's
didn't know.
there's talk about possible renegotiating of the back catalogue if they get to make a new series. Maybe that's what people are thinking. I don't know. But
Right, okay. Lex Kane's TV and movies reviews. Hi, Lex. Have you seen the Nuremberg movie trailer starring Russell Crowe as a main villain lead? I hope the movie stays to the true facts of what happened. I haven't seen the movie trailer for this, but it's a subject matter that would interest me. Actually, have you seen the trailer, Paul?
I've not seen it at all. No, no.
Right. I like Russell Crowe though. He is. I would just like to say for the record, Russell Crowe is a Leeds United supporter and therefore is amazing. I'm sure you agree, Paul. Just say yes.
I'll just say yes because I know nothing of football. So I'll say yes, Ian. That's correct. Yes. Is that slip me a fiver in the post? I'll be fine. So
10 quid at least. Don't do yourself
fine.
down.
Thank you. Yeah.
And also from Lex, The Curse of Frankenstein starring Peter Cushing is getting a 4K release on October the 14th, 2025 with Blu-ray release too. Oh, that'll be good.
Well, that will be good. Yeah, yeah. Great movie. Yeah, yeah.
And Mark Greaves, thank you. BBC must have been the historical advisor on U571. Absolutely, yeah. U571, if anybody doesn't know that, that's the American film which I think had Matthew McConaughey in it, and it was about the capture of a German submarine where they got into it before it sank, rammed by a Navy vessel, and they got an intact Ultima Enigma machine, the coding machine, and all the code books as well, which went back to Bletchley Park. And in the film U571, because that was the name of the submarine, of course, naturally, it was an American destroyer that rammed the submarine. It was the Americans that got the Enigma machine and the code books, and the Americans that were the heroes. It was actually the Royal Canadian Navy that did that, I believe. And all the stuff came straight across to Bletchley Park. Oh. But yeah, historical accuracy has never been a strong point, really, has it? To be honest.
No. Not for the BBC, right, that's for sure, yeah. So.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. They are shocking. So that's the Blu-ray release. And yeah, historical advisor on that one. What else have I missed? I think we're up to date. We're up to date on the super chats, which is a relief. I don't want to cock that up. Imagine JT watching, shouting at me, you missed that one. I'd hate that. Just in case in advance. Sorry, JT. Just in case. Duty-free remake coming soon. Lorena.
Yes.
Oh, you couldn't make it up.
On location in a holiday home. That's right. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Should be in an internment camp, but there you are. I've got one for you, Paul. I've got a little. We're tearing through these, aren't we? So I saw shared on Instagram in the last few days. I saw a post by RTD. It wasn't looking at Instagram on my. It was a separate channel I managed for somebody, and I saw it on there because I am also blocked by RTD on Instagram. What a damn shame. Yeah. Strangely, it doesn't irretrievably damage my lifestyle, so I'm all right. But he posted, honoured to win the Icon Award at Manchester Pride. Well, of course it was Pride, wasn't it? Thank you to official Belinda Scandal. That's a drag queen, naturally. And as a surprise, I'm sure it was, the award was presented by Denise Black, Hazel from Queer as Folk, wearing her costume from Cucumber, which she's kept for 11 years. Probably needed to wash it then. What a great day. And thank you so much, Manchester Pride, Canal Street Meet. It's all the usual tropes there, isn't it? Pride, Manchester Pride, Canal Street, Queer as Folk, Cucumber. It's just the same old. And so he's got Icon Award. Whoopie-doo. It's not the Icon I would think of, to be honest, Paul. I'd be thinking of that Icon that's that little curly piece of poo.
Yes, yeah.
I've
Like
got
an
an
emoji.
emoji. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the icon
So
I did.
is he getting this award for being a gay icon? Is that what he's getting it for?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Maybe just because he's a prat. I genuinely don't know. But it's
Because they need to
just,
specify what the award's for. If it's Prat of the Year award or Prat of the Century, that's brilliant.
it's
Or
probably
decade to be
just,
saying, yeah.
it's pride again. What can we award Russell T Davies this time? Let's just call him an icon and give him an award. So watch this space next year and see what they try and invent to give him next year.
I'm just laughing
There
at the
might be more.
proctologist line there from Anthony. That's brilliant. So. Superb, yeah.
That is a mic drop moment, that, isn't it? That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was him. So next year, who knows? They might move from icons and go to punctuation. I wish they'd make him a bloody
I just hope that they stop awarding this man for what. I'm not quite sure. Everything he's done, is the same thing, regurgitated all constantly. He doesn't do anything new. It's just much the same. He had one successful Queer as Folk. He's repeated that constantly, which is like even in Doctor Who, he's repeating that as well. So he's not original anymore. Give it a rest, retire.
I mean, you could argue, was he ever?
Yeah.
You could argue that, was he ever? Really?
I think the thing about it is a bit like, in some respects, Harry Potter in a way, and I'll probably get flayed alive for saying this. Sometimes things happen at the right time. Queer as Folk happened at the right time. I think it must have been something in the atmosphere or the time, the 90s, whatever, sparked an interest in that. Likewise, Harry Potter hit the right time and made kids read, etc., etc. Doctor Who came back in 2005. It just seemed to be the right time. Things have luck, like Star Wars in '77. Things happen and they become popular because it just hit the zeitgeist at the right time, kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's and it's luck, a lot of that, to be honest. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, it is. It's almost lightning in a bottle kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really. And you're very lucky if you get it more than once. But
well, it's like John and Tom, for instance, being the third and fourth Doctors, both of them. Although Hart and Turner are amazing, but third and fourth Doctor really pushed it into being an institution, didn't it? Really, let's be honest.
Definitely. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. They did, and I think to be honest, even though initially not a lot of people had them, I think that move into colour also helped as well.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
Now I think we've got.
I've just heard Curtis saying I was right there. That's interesting.
Well,
I'm saying nothing. Yeah.
I'm not jealous. I'm also lying. So again from Lex, thank you again, Lex. Very kind. This is just news at the moment, but the creators of Cobra Kai are doing a reboot series or reboot on Knight Rider. Are they now? Wow.
Oh, like we need a reboot of Knight Rider. It wasn't great the first time round. Well, let's be honest with.
No, I mean, those 80s shows that were very much based on technology. I quite enjoy. I never really liked Knight Rider. I thought the car was a bit of a smug twat, to be honest. And I could never take that little steering wheel seriously.
It was like the Batmobile, wasn't it? A little bit.
In fact, the Batmobile looked more advanced, and that was like 1964, wasn't it? Whereas the interior of that just looked like a curved bank of lights. But I'm sure I'll get lynched for that from certain Knight Rider fans. But hopefully there aren't quite a militant fandom for Knight Rider. I don't know, but I quite liked. Do you remember Street Hawk?
Vaguely, yeah.
The 300-mile-an-hour motorcycle with machine guns and a laser. That was quite campy fun.
I remember one that was it Manimal with Simon McCorkin. He could change it different, like the woman from Space 1999 kind of thing, a bit like that. Could change into different creatures, But
he could only change into 3 different creatures. I think that's as far as their effects budget went to. I think he could turn into a bird, he could turn into a snake, and I think he could turn into a panther.
Right.
And when it was actual animals, Maya could only change into certain animals that they obviously had to get in from, let's turn her into a pigeon. Let's get the
Yeah.
pigeon handler in.
Oh, we've got
Otherwise,
an
it was
alien monster costume in stock. Let's do that one. Yeah,
that's
definitely.
exactly it,
Yeah,
and she
yeah,
would do that. But Catherine Schell, that wasn't it,
yeah, yeah.
with a lovely link to City of Death there.
Lovely.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I remember Manimal. Do you remember Automan?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, Automan. There was another one series wonder. There was a guy, typically nerdy guy, just like the nerdy guy that was running behind the scenes with Street Hawk.
Yeah.
All the music in Street Hawk, by the way, was done by Tangerine Dream.
Oh, well.
All of it, all the incidental music, everything, Tangerine Dream. But Automan, this nerdy guy, and he was working on his computer one night, and there was a rumbling like earthquake or whatever, and something came out of the computer, and it was this floating little thing called Pixel, and it rapidly drew stuff like a car, and there was the car, Desi Arnaz Jr. There's somebody remembers.
Yeah.
That always good to know. But yeah, and then Automan itself, it created him, and it was this guy, but he was wearing like his suit had glowing collars and cuffs and things, so it looked like it was an electronic generated suit. So this guy would be in the car with him, but the car, because it was electronic, it could do pure 90-degree turns. So every time it turned,
was this early 80s, Ian, or was this sort of late 70s? Because I remember things like Fantastic Journey with Roddy McDowell and stuff like
that was
that.
70s. That was 70s.
And Man from Atlantis and things like that, which I used to love.
Yeah.
All competition for Doctor Who, Logan's Run TV show as well, and all that kind of stuff is great.
I never got into Logan's Run or Buck Rogers because I just saw them as like my loyalty is Doctor Who. But yeah, these were very early 80s. And then you got to about 83, which is when the A-Team started. But for me, the main hardware one for me was not Blue Thunder, it was Airwolf. I loved Airwolf. That helicopter was so damn sexy. And I don't mind saying that, but it really was. But of course, it was the technology, but it wasn't sentient technology. So it wasn't wise ass and talking back like Knight Rider was. It was,
There are a few mentions there of a few, Ailey Smith and Jones, Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers, etc. What I did like, there's lots of different shows. I actually like all the superhero shows, like and the Incredible Hulk and Spider-Man and all that kind of stuff. Loved all that, but so good
God,
stuff.
the Incredible Hulk though, with who was it?
Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno, is it? Yeah,
Lou Ferrigno. Because Lou Ferrigno's still around, but Bill Bixby died quite a few years ago. Such a shame. Such a shame. He was
but do you remember there was a Gemini Man, which is an invisible man with a watch? He did it with a watch. And
I remember Gemini Man. Yeah.
And the Invisible Man with David McCallum when he peeled off his skin to become invisible. That was superb. I think we're digressing here, Ian, but it's fine.
I know we are. On ITV for me, it was Battlestar Galactica and Buck Rogers. I didn't mind some Battlestar Galactica. It had a fantastic last regular series episode where they went into a base star. But Airwolf was the thing for me. Series 3 as well was the first. It hid it in a mountain in Monument Valley. And the start of Series 3 was an episode called Sweet Britches, because I am that sad. And you saw them go and prep to get in the helicopter and got in, and you saw the helicopter actually rising up the inside of the thing, which you'd never seen before. It was so good.
Well, so coming over the hill sort of thing, you might hovering.
You used to, used to see it coming out of the top. You'd see it, and they'd obviously just flown it below the eye line and then just raised it up as if it had come up. But this time they'd done a really, 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 it was either model shot or glass shot or whatever. But they showed it from underneath going up, and it was really, really good. It was fantastic for the time, Airwolf. And when the series finished, Airwolf, factoid, when the series finished, they sold the helicopter, which was a Bell 222, which had been converted. They sold it to be a medical transport helicopter in Germany, where it crashed in a storm and killed 3 people. There you are.
Oh.
So we'll just finish that on a downer, haven't I? Oh dear.
Now, talking of helicopters, I have another tenuous link here. Now, I've got another article here which we can go to if I can find it now, regarding as we've now called it, the fish thing, as you remember, as I think GT coined it, the fish thing, which stars
Yeah.
Russell Tovey and Unit and the Sea Devils. Now, I have a bit of an article here, if I can just dig this out. Let me find it.
Okay.
And this is regarding what really makes me laugh is that the headline is brilliant for this. This is from the Radio Times. Okay, let me
Okay.
just get this up a bit. And now the headline is Doctor Who boss claims upcoming spin-off series is even better than we thought it was. I mean, really. I mean, you're not going to say it's a pile of crap, are you? Let's be honest. You know. So,
No.
so the details of the spin-off as follows. Okay, after Doctor Who season 15 ended with a jaw-dropping cliffhanger, Russell T Davies is looking ahead to the upcoming spin-off, the war between the land and the sea, aka that fish thing, describing it as absolutely brilliant. Now, details are slowly starting to emerge, I know, about the spin-off which follows Unit as they attempt to prevent a global threat caused by the return of iconic, not anymore, Doctor Who monsters, the Sea Devils, because they're going to ruin them, aren't they? Let's be honest. I mean, having said that, in the trailer that they have, the alien creatures, the sea creatures look good, but they're not sea devils. You know, to give them the benefit of the doubt. Yeah,
they're like a glammed up fish people from Underwater Menace, really, aren't they?
Kind of, yeah. Now, showrunner continues here. Showrunner Davis recently said of the 5-part series, "I'm immensely proud of it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's like we had a good idea." That'll be a first. And he added on the Pilot TV podcast, sometimes you finish a show and they're like, great, good. We did a really good job. Sometimes you go through post-production where everything comes in, you work on the effects, on the music and the grading of it. Sometimes magic happens. And it's happening with this. We were the judge of that. It's even better than we thought it was. I'm delighted with it. So he's quite proud of it. I must admit, in the trailer, it looks better than the last 2 seasons of Doctor Who, but it's still going to be rubbish, I know. So while the war between the land and sea thought to be scheduled to air before the end of 2025, Davis said a release date is still up in the air. So we could be waiting longer than previously thought. Now, an adjunct to this is I think they've now said that it's coming in 2026.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. They're obviously marking time till they can get Doctor Who back off the ground again, potentially. So the show will be led by Gugu Mbatha Raw as a sea devil called Salt, and Russell Tovey, who would play the character of Barclay, as we knew. Now, they'll be joined by fellow cast members of Unit, etc., etc. We've got Kate Stewart, Colonel Ibrahim, and Shirley Bingham as well. David commented on at the time, it's uncertain for Doctor Who fans. I'll try that again. David's comments came out at an uncertain time for Doctor Who fans, still awaiting a Disney decision whether the series will be coming back or recommissioned by Disney. Now, during the Pilot TV interview, Davis insisted there's nothing to report on that front just yet, although BBC Studios' Tom Fussell has previously reassured fans that the BBC remains committed to the show. So we're back to that again. So this is what they're saying now, is that this is a good product. They're never going to say that this is awful, we wish they never made it, but they're now claiming this is the best thing since sliced bread. But doesn't he always say that? He said that about the last episode of the last series being you must watch this, it's superb. Look out for spoilers, blah, blah, blah. But
everything he does, you know, Russell T Davies goes to the toilet and he looks down before he flushes and just says, absolutely brilliant. You know, he really
it's
does.
It's all Todd emojis for you, isn't it?
Well, it is today, definitely. But I mean, he does, which is, you know, quite fitting, really, because most of what he writes is shit and is probably best destined for the toilet. But he says that about everything. He is his own biggest self-promoter. And he does say that about everything. Everything is brilliant. You go back and look at his interviews when they were on set filming for Rose before it was even screened. He was saying, you know, I've got Rose and this and that and the other, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And he says it every single time.
Yeah.
And it's just it's just a devalued statement. It means nothing. Yeah.
It's like calling him a genius, which is a word that gets used really, really too often.
Yeah. I mean, he says it's brilliant, great. I'm happy for him, to be quite honest, but I don't believe him. I would probably sooner believe Keir Starmer, and I would never believe Keir Starmer on anything. So I'm not going to believe RTD. I'm afraid. I think he's just full of it, absolutely full of it. And this guy Russell Tovey, playing somebody called Barclay. Do you want to put some money on now that is related to the Barclay in 10th Planet? Another scientist. What do you
Well, I
want?
actually thought it might be related to the guy in the Planet of the Dead. There's one of the crew who helped the Doctor and Lady Christina, and they become unit soldiers at the end. Barclay and so and so have got the two names, but
Oh,
I think it'd be one of
I
them,
forgot that.
based on one of them. Yeah, but who remembers Planet of the Dead now from what 2009? You know, incredible. You know, but apart from
That was
Sandals
a
like
year
us.
where there was just 3 specials, wasn't there?
Yeah,
That
that's right.
year.
Yeah.
There was no series, but yeah, I don't know. Just knowing how derivative he is and how they always like to link things up and everything has to
Yeah.
be connected to everything else because you can't have a standalone story anymore.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if he did that. I've said privately, I hope Russell Tovey's character is a gay man. I really, really, really don't want Russell Tovey to be playing a heterosexual character. And I say that purely because this is written by Russell T Davies, who has stood on the soapbox many times saying only gay actors should play gay characters. And by that, I think, right, fair enough. I believe in equality, and therefore only straight actors should play straight characters. So I am presuming Russell Tovey's character is a gay man. I bet he's not, but we'll see.
Well, you may be a gay man, but you got a kink for fish, obviously, clearly. But that's it. So maybe we can let him off with that a little bit if he's got some.
Sounds like Troy
fish fetish
McClure
going on.
from The Simpsons. I think he had some kind of kink for fish as well. I
Something
haven't
like
seen
that.
The Simpsons
Yeah.
in a long time, but I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
I think
Yeah.
he did. Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see. But I mean, what I find interesting is that when Gatwa's tenure finally, mercifully came to an end, and it certainly wasn't our jaws that were on the floor when Billie Piper was stood there. I mean, it might have been her jaw. I mean, have you seen all that stuff she's had sucked out recently? She looks like a skeleton, so the jaw hers probably did.
Allegedly.
She wouldn't have anything supporting it, would she? But yeah, I don't get why straight after that they advertised this war between the land and the sea. They did a trailer for it.
Yeah.
And you don't normally show a trailer for a program that you're going to show 12, 13, 14 months hence, which in May or June it would have been.
Apparently, it was a trailer shown this month as well as part of BBC's autumn schedule, and it was shown as part of that as well. Not the one that came after the last episode of Doctor Who, or so-called Doctor Who, but apparently it was a little short trailer part of the autumn lineup, and that had a clip in that referring to it coming in the autumn. But like you say, it's been pushed now into next year. Could be. I think they might put it in the Doctor Who slot, April, May, June, whatever, and put it on around about then to make it like a stopgap for a non-2026 Doctor Who series. You know what I mean? Kind of thing to fill the gap. And then if they are planning to bring it back, as we've all been speculating, the BBC are desperate to bring it back in one shape or another, one form or another, then it might be coming back in 27. Who knows? But
you just can't tell, can you?
Yeah.
But
I was going to say again about the trailer, though. One thing I say about it, I think the trailer, the tone of it is so much better than what we had with Shooty. At least it looks like it's trying to be slightly serious, maybe too full-faced. I loved Children of the Earth. That was really dark. If it's got a dark quality like that, it could be really good. It could be very good, but I'm not holding my breath. I want to like it. I'm hoping it's good, but I doubt it. But there we are.
Yeah. Well, it's just, you like we've already said, you can't trust anymore, can you? You can't trust.
You've had your fingers burnt too many times. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to be insane to trust Russell T Davies now. Anything he says, or any of those around him, either. To be honest. Let me just catch up on these. Another one from Lex. Thank you so much, Lex. Also, there've been talks about that Airwolf might be coming back as a movie or a new TV series. It's just news at the moment. I'd like to see a modern
Lex, I want to know
day.
your sources here.
I'd love to see that. If it was done properly, I would love to see that with modern day effects. That's one of the things that really grated on me with Airwolf was whenever it had a dogfight, and shot something down, it was always the same stock explosion. So if
Yeah.
he was flying and fighting against an aeroplane, and he shot the aeroplane down, the explosion was always a sodding. You could see the bits. It was a helicopter. Yeah, it was the same model helicopter every single time. It was really frustrating. So it'd be good. Be good to see that.
Well, we're guilty of that in Doctor Who. Didn't they steal a bit from Bond for Enemy of the World and the Demons, the same clip, and one's in color, one's in black and white. Yeah, so yeah. So we've done it as well.
We did.
Yeah.
And Mark Greaves, I'm being made redundant after 32 years in the same job. Mark, I am so sorry about that. That is absolutely devastating. I hope after 32 years service, I hope they're paying you a decent amount for that. I really do. But I'm very, very sorry. So you've been made redundant after 32 years in the same job in October. I'm going to send my CV to Unit. They hire anyone. Nothing to lose, mate.
Don't work for them, Mark. Don't work for them. Yeah.
Java Bean Studios, Michael. Thank you. Is that an Australian word? I don't know that. I've never seen. Is that?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's a typo, Michael, or. But thank you for your super chat. Yeah, I'm confused there, and I'm suddenly feeling very thick. So sorry about that.
Well, it's not just you. I feel a bit thick as well. I don't quite get it, but maybe Michael can explain.
Hopefully,
I'll quote Doctor Who explain later. That's more appropriately, yeah. So
it is very early for Michael, isn't it? So I will give him a pass on that one. But thank you, Michael. Really sorry about being made redundant. Now that's horrible.
That's
after
awful.
32 years.
Yeah.
Terrible. But yeah, I mean, Star Trek movies recycle space battles. They're still classics. Yeah, because the Klingon ship that blew up at the end of Star Trek 6 was reused again in I think it was Generations. I think it was Star Trek Generations. Reused that, which when you think about it, on a film budget, they don't really need to, do they?
No,
really. You can imagine a series needs to save a little bit of money and reuse stock effects here and there, but yeah.
Well, I've mentioned about superheroes. I'm a massive fan of Adam West Batman. Love Batman. I've been watching on Talking Pictures TV every Saturday morning, even though I've got the DVD here. But they use stock footage all the time, constant repetitive footage. That the exit from the Batcave, coming to the Batpools, going to Commissioner Gordon's office, the whole opening every week is exactly the same, just about. It's incredible. So.
But when you were a kid growing up, that was amazing, wasn't it?
It was great.
The sign going down and the car driving over it. And the Batmobile still looks good.
Oh, so cool! Yeah.
And the engine noise, it sounds like a real engine turbine from a jet.
Well, I remember getting Lost in Space for Christmas a few years ago, the original 60s show, and they used some of the sound effects in that because it's made by the same TV company, So and like the Jupiter 2 had the same sound effect taking off as the Batmobile and stuff like that, So it's incredible. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Love all that. Yeah.
I'll tell you something I saw. Just pop back into my memory. I think a couple of weeks ago, there was Jodie Whittaker. I saw an article about Jodie Whittaker, which was nauseating in itself. But it was saying, I think the gist of it was that Jodie was saying people made so much about her gender. People made it all about her gender, I believe, was the crux of the interview. And when I read this, I was, as you might be surprised to know, I was completely incensed. And just for a change, because she made it all about her gender, didn't she?
Yeah.
She really did. I mean, that first interview, which I think we've already touched on briefly earlier on, but she made it all about her gender, because when she was announced, she made that incredibly patronizing comment to male viewers to not be afraid of her gender. I mean, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of my gender. What does that even mean? Really?
Yeah.
It just typical Jodie word salad bollocks, really. But she was the one that made it about her gender, not us, not anybody else. And it's Russell T Davies does this, doesn't he? He I suppose they all do in a way, like he did with at the end of Gatwa's series 1, Davis made a comment about, we haven't had any diverse writers. We'll have to see what we can do about that. Now, at that point, all the scripts for series 2 were done, and the majority of the filming, because they were done back to back, weren't they?
Yeah.
So when series 1 finished and he made those comments, he was saying, we haven't had really any diverse writers, must see what we can do about that. He was creating that situation because he already knew that diverse writers had been commissioned, had done scripts, and those scripts had pretty much been filmed at that point. So he was creating a situation that he could then later return to and play the part of the absolute hero. Look, I've got these writers in, because
I'm so glad, Ian, they got to write those classic episodes that they turned out to be. So
yeah, I mean, they were so good. I can't remember the title of any of them.
Good
Genuinely.
point, Kirsty.
Most men are not afraid of boobs, Jody. Absolutely right, Kirsty.
Yeah.
Nail on the head. I mean, most men.
I think
don't want to
JT may have something to say about that, but anyway. There we go.
But you know what I mean? It's like, so RTD generates these situations like he has done recently. He's been making statements, hasn't he, saying, oh, it's going to be a really dangerous time now for gay people and everything else. And it's like, no, you're pretty much in the trans camp, RTD. That's the one you've been batting for quite some time now. But you're trying to drag gay people into it. But you're the one that's generated the hate. You're the one that's generated the division. You're the one that's caused the issue. And now you're standing up on a stage trying to rail against the issue as if it's been created by somebody else. He's responsible for it in the same way that he'd already got a resolution to this perceived problem that he said with the writers, just so he could say that, look at me, I'm the hero now because I brought all these people in, aren't I? Absolutely brilliant. And Whittaker was the same. She was talking about the gender from word go. She was talking about gender, and then she's saying it was all about my gender, and just makes you want to throw, really.
Yeah.
But there we are.
I did see an article that Jodie was saying recently, maybe because she started doing Big Finish this year, about she wasn't keen on how she played the part. I think she wished she had looked back at other Doctors. She apparently was admitting all this. I can't remember where I saw that, unless it was a fever dream. I'm sure I read it somewhere. But that she actually had regrets about how she played it because she didn't know how to play the character, as we all know, and didn't have that foreknowledge of how the essence of the Doctors, what she needed really. Having said that, I do remember when we reviewed Reality War, and JT said the same thing about the fact that she was more doctory in that episode than Shooty ever was in that little cameo she made, which doesn't say much for her performance, but if it's better than Shooty, that's incredible, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It really is. I mean, she was the bottom of the barrel, and he was digging down through the wood at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, he was outside the barrel. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And she pretty much did outact him, but it's not really saying much.
No,
is it?
Not really.
No. Just reverting back to Java Bean Studios with another super chat. Thank you again. Bloody typo joke backfired. Meant to say, get your shit. I don't know about that. Yeah, we'll end up everybody watching will go down to zero if I take my shirt
So do
off.
these super chats work like it's a bit like children in need? They give you money, you have to do something, So I'll keep my clothes on if you give us lots of money. That's fine. Don't worry. Yeah. So.
Didn't they get Joanna Lumley to strip off once?
I think they tried to do that. Yeah. So
yeah, she went right down to her undercrackers, if I remember rightly.
Apparently, so much to the excitement of Terry Wogan. I remember. Yeah. So.
Yeah. But I'm not doing that, Michael. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Not for $7.99. No, you have to do more.
No, I'll make it $10 and certainly no problem. Oh dear God, what have I just said? And there was another one from Lex. Lex, thank you so much. I just got it from Arrow Video on Lost in Space movie 4K on limited edition. Oh, Gary Oldman, the film. Yeah,
that's an interesting film. I quite like it. It's not a great movie, but I quite liked it.
A friend of mine saw it and said that it reminded them they got feeling the way that Dr. Smith degenerated at the end into that kind of
Yeah.
like monster. Although it was bigger, it gave
Yeah.
them feelings of the Master in Deadly Assassin,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
which
I
I
think
can
Guy
see.
Owen played it a bit like the Master as well, didn't he? A little bit. He's a bit more sinister
Yeah, I think he probably did.
than
Yeah.
Jonathan Harris in the TV show, you know. Because he
Then
was
again,
very,
if you
very
want
camp.
Gary Oldman, in sci-fi, it's got Fifth Element, really, hasn't it?
Oh yes, he's brilliant in that. Yeah, really good. Yeah, yeah.
I love that film. Bada
Yes, so do
bing.
I. Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, the Lost in Space film had some good bits in it. I wasn't a fan overall, but had some good bits in it as well. I think Apollo 440 did some of the music as well. If I
Yeah,
remember right.
yeah. I mean, I quite like the original series. The first series that's in black and white's quite good. And then, like a lot of shows at the time, because of Batman, it all gets really camp and silly, or camper and silly. When it went into colour, it got really, really silly and daft. But I think the first two seasons in black and white are really good, but after that, it gets a
Yeah,
bit daft. Yeah.
I found it a little bit slow moving. I think in the it must have been either the late 80s or the early 90s. They started showing it on a Sunday afternoon
On Channel 4,
Channel
yeah.
4. Yeah,
That's
and I
right,
caught it
yeah.
then, and it was. I found it a bit slow,
Yeah.
to be honest. And then I saw a clip later on when it had gone into colour, and if I remember rightly, they'd been growing some vegetables, but they were enormous, and one of them came to life, or something. They had to shoot
like
it.
a talking carrot was one of them. Yeah, giant carrot. Yeah. So we were lucky with Seeds of Doom. That's all.
Well, yeah. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
God.
Although we had the Vervoids and Terror the Vervoids, which was much similar kind of idea.
Yeah. The Vervoids, they spoke, didn't they?
Yeah, with the
that was
Brummie
quite.
accents. Yeah.
That was quite.
They were related to the Crotons, I believe. I think they were very similar. Yeah.
All those accents are very similar. You can either think it's either Brummie, or might sound a little bit Afrikaans, South African, and everything else.
Yeah.
And then you've got links then, haven't you, to Sontaran Experiment and the Galsec.
Yeah, they sound South African as well, don't they? Yeah. Chick,
definitely.
Chick. Yeah. So,
that was very good.
Thank you.
That was very good.
I'm here all night. Yeah. Talking of things, I want to point out something. I said to you earlier on we'd present this. So I was lucky. I want to shout out to someone on the show tonight. A guy called Grant Holdsworth, who is a model maker, and my friend bought me this lovely present, and I want to show this tonight. And all the Doctor Who fans will love this. So bear with me for a second. So I had to stretch over to get this. Now, Grant Holdsworth is a model maker, like I said, he 3D prints stuff, and he's done many models, and he has them in various versions, various sizes. And I was lucky enough to get this. Isn't that utterly amazing? It's a Blackpool TARDIS, obviously, and that's the inside of it. So you have to pump it that way around so you can. And he's made. I've seen lots of shots of his work. He's made the whole street in Blackpool with a cafe at the end and the Doctor Who logo and everything. And one of the shots he has is Peter Capaldi as a model sweeping the street dressed as the caretaker from The Caretaker, which is brilliant. But this is superb. The detail of the Mandrel and the Dalek on there from Planet of the Daleks is amazing. The detail is incredible. And when you open the doors, because they do open outwards as they did in Blackpool like that, and look in there. If I zoom in a bit, you probably can't see it, but there's a sticker above the yellow triangle there, black triangle rather, and it's got the prices of entrance, which I think is 30 pence for kids and 50 for adults. That's
That
well, 80 pence well spent, I have to say. But yeah, so I got this as a gift, and it's amazing.
Can you turn that around?
Yeah.
It actually got the guttering on there as well, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. If you look at the back of it, yeah, there's the guttering there, and then the guttering there, and then the pipe coming down as well, and then the Doctor Who logo. So it is a work of art. So Grant Holdsworth, I believe he's called. If he's making any more, get them. These are absolutely amazing. He does them in 3 different sizes. And if you look on his Facebook page, he's now done a Longleat version as well, and it looks amazing. So this is a lovely gift from a friend of mine, an old mate of mine, who he said it as a thank you for something my wife and I did, and it's really lovely, and I love it. So you have to get one of these if you're a fan of the exhibition. This is superb. I want the rest of the street now. I can build it up. That'd be superb. So yeah. It's beautiful.
I mean,
really
anybody that went to the Longleat or the Blackpool exhibitions, those are special places with special memories, aren't they?
Yeah, very much
I
so.
mean, as
Yeah.
soon as you showed that, I was like, I mean, the
You
last
can
time
hear
I
the
saw,
music playing on the loop, the
yeah,
Doctor Who thing on a
yeah,
loop. Both
the last time
versions. Yeah, so,
I went to Blackpool was 85,
right. Yeah, me too.
and
Yeah, same.
then before that, I think it was probably 79, and just pilgrimage. You know,
Yeah,
it was our Mecca, wasn't it?
it
Really, it
was.
was.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like since the new series, it got for a while. It was, you know, have you been to the Cardiff experience, which I never got to,
Yeah.
or anything like that. I saw
No,
all
me
the other
neither.
ones that
Yeah,
toured the
yeah.
country and everything, but I never saw that one. I never got to that one. Um, but the Blackpool, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I went around the Longleat one because I was at Longleat in '83 for the 20th
Right. Yeah.
anniversary thing. But yeah, Blackpool twice. I would have loved, I would have killed to have been at Blackpool when Pertwee or Tom Baker was there. You know those
Oh,
photos of Tom
yeah,
Baker
yeah.
with Ian Marter and Liz Sladen.
Oh, the ones with Liz and Pertwee as well look brilliant. I'm
Yeah,
really hoping, against hope, that they do a documentary about the exhibitions on the season 11 box set when it eventually comes out. That'd be a great extra. Please, if you're listening, Mr.
yeah,
Chapman, please do that. Thank you. Yeah,
that would be superb, wouldn't it? But
yeah,
that
yeah.
model there, it is that's like that's been plucked straight out of my memory.
Yeah,
That
it's
is.
like it's like Carnival Monsters, but the exhibition. It's like a bit like that, really. Yeah, but superb. The detail's amazing, and it's incredible. And Grant, well done. It's superb. Really, really good. Check him out, guys, if you can. It's superb. It really is. Um,
we can dig out the actual links to his channels, and maybe next show we'll put them out there.
If we could, that'd be great. I know he's on Facebook, and it's Grant Holdsworth. Some amazing stuff. Look him up. Look at his model making. It's really, really good. I think he does. I don't know if he does TARDIS consoles as well, like from the 60s and
Ooh,
70s and that. So, because my mate's
ooh.
got lots of bits and pieces. I'm not sure what he's got. So I don't know if he does other things as well. But these are great anyway. So I recommend these without a doubt. So this one's not to scale because my friend said, "Can you check it out and see how the Hartnell figure or character option figure matches up?" So unfortunately, it's a bit like Land of the Giants a little bit because he's too big. It's a giant William Hartnell going past. But they do. I think he has the one. The middle size is to scale for the character options, and then the big one is obviously it's the next size up, so 3 times the size of the one I've got, kind of idea. But the detail's amazing, and it just if you have a look later, on his Facebook page, you'll see the street
Yeah,
with the logo and the paintings of the doctors, all that kind of. It looks superb, really does, and he's done it so well, And the wee cafe that you used to go into when you came out, and all that kind of stuff is I think there as well. So it's really nice.
you see, 3D printing is just it's in some respects it's like the AI video has done with people like Midjourney
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything else. It's sort of like opened up that opportunity to recreate or create original stuff with what looks like the actual characters, and the
yeah.
3D printing is opening up that area to make you're not having to hope now that character options produce this or produce that. There is that scope there. People are skilled enough to be able to do these things for themselves, because I mean, what haven't character brought out yet that we would love to see?
The Zarbi, Menoptera, and the Venom Grub, please. That's what I want.
Yeah, yeah, because for some
Or the
reason
Ogrons and Draconians, those kind of things. That's what you want.
some people think that Web Planet's better than Dalek Invasion of Earth, of course, but they're wrong.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I'd like to see the Ogrons and the Draconians. Yeah, they would
Yeah.
make fantastic models. I've got a feeling character would just give you one of each and a gold Dalek in the middle.
Probably, yeah. I'm surprised they've not done it. They will do. There must be another reason to rehash the Daleks again. So hopefully they will. So
Yeah. I mean, if they put it with a grey Dalek, I wouldn't mind because it'll fit in the
Yeah.
ranks. But another gold one, you don't want to build up an army of gold Daleks, do you? It defeats the
No.
point.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see some Yeti. I think Yeti would be good.
Oh yeah. There was talk of Yeti coming out, wasn't there? There was some kind of problem with that. It was cancelled, wasn't it? But
Did it not? Did word not get out before it was formally announced, so they canned it or something like that?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I heard as a
I
rumor,
think
and I
so.
don't know where
Something.
that's from.
Yeah.
But a Jamie and a Victoria, you know, I'd like to see a Jamie and a Victoria, because it was interesting that they did an Ian Chesterton, but they didn't do a Susan or a Barbara, you know. And
Well, I don't know
you know,
how. Maybe JT might know,
where
but
were
I
the
wonder
feminists going for that, you know?
how well those Sensorites and Vood sets sold, because they were amazing. They were lovely.
Yeah, yeah,
Sets like that, you know, doing 60s ones or even 70s ones, whatever, would look great. You know, doing Hartnell with the Zarbi, Venom Grub, and
yeah,
Menoptera would be great. You know,
yeah.
things like that.
I completely agree. And
Yeah.
a meddling monk. It'd be nice to have a meddling monk, don't you think?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah.
I think that'd be great. But I mean, there's such a rich vein still to mine with
Well,
Trout
they'd
and
have to
stuff.
give you the monk with his sarcophagus TARDIS as well. That's what you want, you know. So, and you open the door and there's a wee picture of his face. You can just see him, like tiny face. You know, that's what you want. Yeah. So, copyright whose views? I'm just saying that now. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, get that
Yes,
in there. Get that in
yeah.
there, definitely. Keir Starmer is a grey Dalek. Well, he certainly sounds like one, doesn't he? He sounds like one of the original voices from Day of the Daleks, I think, because they were naff voices for Daleks, weren't they?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. We've got another one from Lex. We had another one from Lex. Thank you, Lex. So you heard that Jaws in IMAX is a jump scare classic film. Just gone
Wow.
50 years old, hasn't it? Was it 50? 50 years?
50 years old. Yeah.
Remember going to see that at the cinema, and it was terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had, didn't we have just the other day, there was 50 years of Terror of the Zygons, which is scary. And then tomorrow's
What's the
45 years of
anniversary
Leisure
today?
Hive as well. Was that sorry?
Yeah, that's today, isn't it?
It's today, I think, yeah. Or tomorrow, yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Leisure Hive. Wow. Leisure Hive. That was a big change, wasn't it? Leisure Hive.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
When you think about it, it was one of those pivotal moments where Doctor Who was so fundamentally different. So not so much changing, although some Doctor changes, you know, like today when it's 10 a penny, you don't care anyway. But it was a pivotal moment, like Troughton to Pertwee or Pertwee to Baker, or going into colour. It was this. You'd had this theme tune virtually untouched for 10 years, from literally the start of Pertwee all the way through to the end of the 79 one, and with Horns and Nymon. And then you just got this, what the hell is that kind of thing? And it was, you knew it was a Doctor Who theme, obviously, because it was recognizable. But when you saw it on the trailers, you were thinking, is that really the theme tune? And it was so fundamentally different, wasn't it? But then the feel of the episodes was different as well. And we had a new police box prop, and
New Caution for Tom.
Yeah. And that opening panning scene across Brighton Beach.
A lot of people have said reviewing that they think it's really. I love that pan of the Victorian changing rooms and then the TARDIS. It's brilliant, and the music.
Yeah.
Again, it's Peter Howell. This version of music, isn't it? I think at this point,
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. It is really good, and really, it feels like a different show as you were alluding to.
Yeah.
And it's one of these things. If you see it looking back, it's different. When you saw it at the time in context, it was mind blowing. It was, because it's completely different from season 17. You know, so.
It really was. It was, you just, you know, I mean, we were on holiday for episode 1, and telly was broke. So this happened. We didn't go on holiday very often. And I think, to be honest, the previous time, it was always going to relatives' houses as a holiday rather than actually going away somewhere. But the last time we went away somewhere was in June 1974, which was when episode 6 of Planet of the Spiders was on. And the
Did you miss that one as well?
I missed that one as well. The telly broke. So went away twice, telly broke twice, missed Planet of the Spiders episode 6, missed Pertwee leaving, which I was devastated about. And, you know, the world might as well have ended at that point, because, you know, what was the point in going on without Pertwee? And then I missed Leisure Hive episode 1. So I was just aware that there was this new theme tune and everything else, but it was only episode 2 onwards. And of course, the only time I saw episode 1 of Leisure Hive and that fantastic panning scene was when it was released on VHS many years later.
There's a lesson to be learned. They're never going on holiday when Doctor Who's on. That's the key. So.
Or now,
go away. It's fine. It's fine. Go away when it's on. Now you're fine, but not then.
go
did you
away
end
for
up
8
seeing
weeks.
Planet Spiders Part 6 on the repeat at Christmas before Robots
Yes.
started? Did you? Fantastic. Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did, which kind of made up for it. But I'd had,
Yeah.
by that point, I'd had 6 months of absolute trauma.
Agony. Yeah.
Yeah, because we went there with a few relatives, and one of them had, two sort of like groups of uncles and aunts and cousins, and one of them, their telly had been working. Of course, I hadn't gone into their place. It was a Butlins in Filey, long since demolished, and but I'd not gone round to theirs, so I just missed it. But they'd seen it, and my auntie said this man appeared, which was obviously Choji, and just said he was going to turn, and she said it in this kind of very dramatic voice. She said, "Going to turn into a really old man." I thought, why is my doctor turning into a really old man? And that was all I could imagine. I could imagine
Well,
now.
maybe she read the
somebody
press
like,
release. It was going to be Mr. Pastry, and that's what she thought. That was
maybe, yeah. But I just had visions of somebody that looked like the Fourth Doctor when he stepped out of that thing at the end of episode 3 of Leisure Hive. Where he's.
I love that. He looks like Father Christmas. He's superb. Really.
Yeah. But it, like I said, it was only 6 months, wasn't it? And then they did the repeat, although down repeat, wasn't it? But
yeah,
you got to see. I think it was a cut down repeat, but they kept that entire road chase in untouched, didn't they?
Yeah.
As the homage to Pertwee, really. But
that's almost a whole episode in itself, that chase. But I love that chase. It's brilliant. Really good. Yeah.
And it was just, that was the equivalent of Tennant's overlong departure at the end of Last of the Time Lords, where he went back and saw everybody and did that. That
yeah,
was
but Pertwee
painful.
wasn't regenerating at that point, was he? He was just trying to catch.
No, he
the
wasn't.
villain,
No. But it was proper. All right, slowly filmed, but it was proper James Bond stuff, I thought.
Yeah.
Classic stuff. But yeah, blimey, that's a bit of a loop, isn't it? All the way back.
Yeah, all the way back to kind of indirectly to Bidmead again, almost. Back to him again, almost with Leisure Hive. Yeah.
So what we're going to do with regards to further shows, because people are going to want to know.
Well, to quote J&T, stay tuned and we'll let you know, because we have to talk about this stuff.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Obviously, like we said at the start, JT is undergoing treatment. That treatment is quite debilitating at times, and then he bounces back and is quite perky, allegedly.
Well, can I just say before we continue any further, let's hope he enjoyed it, or we'll be getting our jotters after this show.
Yeah, we will be. Yeah. P40's in the post.
Yeah.
The P45, isn't it? P45.
Yeah, P45. Yeah.
Can imagine that happening already.
Yeah. So,
but
we're replaced by Kirsty and Michael. It'll be fine. It's okay. It's fine. We'll regenerate. I'll be Kirsty. It's fine.
You see, they're a glam couple, aren't they? Them two.
Yeah.
Just like, Michael there, so effortlessly cool, and Kirsty just looking gorgeous as ever. We don't stand a chance, mate.
We don't stand a chance at all. Yeah.
No, we don't stand a chance. So we need to keep our noses clean, then, don't we? Really?
Because you had your hair done for tonight, didn't you? And I put on my head polish and everything, just for tonight, just to be. Yeah. We did our best.
Well, we wanted to make a good impression, didn't we?
I'll take that. I'll take that, Frankie. Paul, like Morecambe Wise with Hugh's views like that. I'll take that. Yeah. Oh yes.
I'll take that, or the two Ronnies, to be quite honest.
The two Ronnies, yeah.
So we should finish it with.
As long as you don't mention Cannon and Ball, be fine. A little and large. I don't want that. Yeah.
No, we're definitely not doing that. Definitely not doing that. But JT will obviously be focusing on getting better, which is what we all want to do, and what we know so far is obviously very positive.
He's making good progress.
Yeah, but he's not going to be back on the show in the next 2 or 3 weeks or anything like that. This is going to take him time, and he needs time to recover as well after the process and everything. So he's going to do that. He's we are in regular communication, and we will pass on any messages and things like that. But we'll work on more live shows like this. If people want to come back again and listen to us to waffle on, because we do go off on tangents a bit, don't we?
We do, yes. It has been known. Yeah. So,
but
you thought the part we chase sequence was padding. There's a bit of padding in there as well.
But we're also going to look at doing some stuff. You might see some stuff come through as pre-records as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we'll be looking at working on some of those. But yeah, we're going to keep an eye open for news stories. Please feel free to carry on submitting them as well, and watching the Instagram channel and our Facebook page, because we'll post news and updates there as well. But I can't think. There was another news article that I'd seen, and I can't remember now. This is age creeping in. I can't remember now for the life of me what
So
it
hear
was.
you again?
I just stumbled across this channel and I ended up on it. Don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. I cannot remember what it was. That's frustrating me now.
If you go out the room and come back in again, you might remember. I do that often. That seemed to work. Yeah.
I'll probably lock myself out. Forget where I put my keys. You can see this. It'll just be disastrous, I think.
Well, can I just say again, just to all our viewers, thank you so much for the support and the love you've given the channel and the support to JT, and it's been much appreciated. And please keep up the support if you can. That'd be wonderful if you could. So thank you so much.
And thank you for all the super chats. There's been a huge number tonight, and we really appreciate all of them. And we have another one from Lex as well. You've got Jaws in 3D. Jaws 3 in 3D. You can't wait to watch it.
Is that the one with Michael Caine? Michael Caine's in that one, isn't he? I think. Yeah.
I think it is, isn't it? And
that's the one he got to pay for his children to go to school, I think, or university. Yeah. He often says that when he makes a crap film, that's what he did with the money. So yeah.
I think I saw a scene of that on Insta, on an Insta channel the other day, actually, because there's a scene where the shark is coming towards. I think there's this partially underwater base, and it breaks through some glass, and there's a big 3D glass effect where the shards come towards you. They would occasionally in those early 3D films, they would put scenes in where it really emphasized the fact that it was 3D with things flying towards you, didn't they? And
they should have watched Dimensions in Time. That would have done the trick, I would imagine. Yeah.
You'll be saying
I'm not about to get it in just before we wrap up. That's good.
You'll say that's canon next. But
it is canon. According to Russell T Davies. Yeah.
Well, nobody believes a word he says.
And that's a parallel universe that we've discovered already. That's fine.
But the shark comes towards the glass and breaks through it, but it's not, like a shark could be doing with its tail and everything and moving forward, and it's literally just like a static prop just coming towards this, and then the glass shatters and everything. But enjoy it, Lex. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. I saw it once a long time ago, and that was enough, really. I think they killed that franchise. Jaws 2 was just about passable, but
I saw Jaws 2 in the cinema, and I'm sure there's a bit in that one where there's a body that falls out of the boat underwater, and it has its eyes kind of eaten away by fish, and it's just this kind of corpse with no eyes. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. Remember that bit? Yeah. No. Yeah.
I think that's Jaws 1, isn't it?
It's not,
I think that's
Jaws 2.
That's Jaws 1 where the head comes out of the boat. There's a boat with a chunk missing under the waterline, and he sees a tooth embedded in the side of the boat.
All right.
That's Richard Dreyfuss's character.
No, I'm sure it's a different bit. It's a different jump scale. I need to have a look at and see.
But, right. Okay. I can't think that. It's a long time since I've seen that one, because it ends with spoilers. It ends with the power cable, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That gets dredged up and it bites on the power
cable. And it gets all burnt up the side of its face. Remember that? Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I didn't see Jaws. I only saw Jaws on the telly. The first one, I never saw it in the cinema. I'd only been 10 at the time, so I probably wasn't allowed to see it. But I do remember getting in to see Jaws 2 at a local cinema in my hometown in 79, or it was 78.
It was the only time I went to the cinema with my dad. Yeah, God bless him. God rest his soul. Yeah, that was the only time. He, of course, naturally fell asleep. So I was sat there in the cinema on my Todd watching Jaws. I mean, not literally on my Todd,
Yeah.
obviously, my dad there, but yeah, we went to the cinema to see
What?
it. Absolutely terrifying. I daren't sleep with my legs out in the bed for years afterwards. I would always
Yeah.
sleep huddled up because I thought if I stretch my legs out, the shark will come up and bite my legs. The fact that there was no water.
My mum told me a story that she went to see the Invasion of the Body Snatchers in the late 50s, early 60s, whenever it was. And she used to, because of that's all about body snatching and all these pods and all that kind of stuff, she couldn't sleep when she went home from the cinema. And I keep checking under her bed to make sure she wasn't being duplicated under the bed. That she did that. She was so petrified by it. And it's a great film, the original version of Body Snatchers. But it's funny, I've got all early memories of seeing things in the cinema, mainly Disney films. But my earliest memory of a non-sci-fi or Disney movie was the Dad's Army movie from 1971. I saw it in the cinema with my mum.
All right.
And I absolutely loved it. And then the next film I saw, I think, was Robin Hood with Peter Ustinov, the Disney version. Great film. Yeah.
Okay.
Loved
Never
it.
seen
Yeah.
that. Never seen that. Obviously seen the Dad's Army one. A total
Yeah.
classic. A
Brilliant
total
movie,
classic.
Yeah.
And thank you to Sheila B, or as JT says, Sheila B and the Devotions. We've got to keep that going.
Yeah.
A £5 super sticker. Thank you. And looking at the chat on YouTube, that super sticker, because it doesn't translate on here, does it? It's a blue hippo in a yellow t-shirt clapping. Thank you, Sheila.
Yeah, lovely.
JT always likes those, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He always likes those. Bless. Thank you. But I think that's us tonight, Paul.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say it's good night from me. It's good night from him before we go. To be honest.
I think we should do that. I think we should do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you everybody. Echoing what Paul said, thank you everybody that's tuned in tonight. It's been fantastic to see everybody again. For the number of people that we had in the chat and everything, fantastic. For all the super chats, fantastic. And I will say it again, please hit that like button and subscribe if you are already. Check to see that you're still subscribed, and please share it amongst your friends and anybody else that you care to, and get them to subscribe too. We really want to make JT proud, and if we can do that,
I think the viewers already have done that, and I think you've really perked them up. So thank you again for that. Yeah,
very much so. But we will see you again really soon. Keep an eye out on Insta and Facebook and YouTube for when we post up the show times and everything else. But without any further waffle, it's a good night from me.
And good night from him.
Good night.
Good night.